Hey, gang, there are so many important issues to discuss in today's political, cultural, and economic climate, and I can't discuss them all here. In fact, YouTube and big tech won't let me talk about it all here. And that's why I have exclusive, uncensored live streams on Monday nights to cover everything. On Monday nights, I share all my thoughts and answer your questions in an in-depth, casual format that prepares you for this upcoming election with the truth. Today, I want to show you a quick clip from a recent stream that I hope will help you think clearly about these important issues, as well as encourage you to join our movement. Join an upcoming exclusive live stream, and I'll answer your questions by clicking the link in the description below and joining our community of courageous patriots building a parallel economy. I look forward to seeing you over there.
Ahmed wants to know if you could further explain the main divisions within the Republican Party and how can they get more info?
Good question. Yeah, I mean, there's different ways of schematizing the Republican Party, but I think there's basically three right now. So the dominant wing of the Republican Party right now is MAGA. It's America First. These are what we call nationalist, populist, traditionalists, generally speaking. Some are MAGA because of one reason over and against another. But generally speaking, MAGA wants to affirm border sovereignty, border security, and national sovereignty. We want a return to energy independence and bring manufacturing and industrial jobs back so that we become a manufacturing powerhouse of the world. And we want to celebrate and revere our traditions, our custom, our culture, rather than denigrate it as racist and bigoted and all kinds of phobic and the like. So that's the MAGA movement. It's the most coherent, I think, sustainable political paradigm available today. It's exactly what we're seeing happening right now in Spain. Very same nationalist, populist, and traditionalist frames of reference. What if I told you there was a small group of investors who wildly outperformed the market? Well, there is, and you know exactly who they are. Corrupt politicians like Nancy Pelosi and establishment senators have been using their security clearances and exclusive knowledge to their advantage in the market for decades now. They know when sales are up. They know what earnings are going to be. They know about legislation, incoming Fed changes, you name it, a whole host of other inside baseball tips that gives them an unfair advantage when picking stocks. When these bigwigs make moves, odds are they know something. But thanks to a little-known SEC database, guess what? We can see what and when these people are buying. Not only do we get to see it in real time, but we get to piggyback on their trades to gain the same advantage for ourselves perfectly legally and ethically. My friend Ross Givens has been tracking insider trading for years, and his recommendations have led to investment returns of over 200%. Some have hit as high as nearly 1,500%. And according to him, there's no better way to beat the market. Now it's your turn. Click on that link below right now and learn how you too can learn to trade like Pelosi. Click on that link and learn how to gain an insider advantage for yourself. Over on the other side, you've got the Rhinos. The Rhinos are your globalist neocons. So these are the ones who want open borders, because they believe that brings about economic prosperity for all. That's the actual belief. They want to farm out our manufacturing and our industry to third world nations, so as to maximize the margins for corporate owners here that they believe provides more jobs, and they could care less about our nation's culture, customs, and traditions. Liz Cheney is as socially liberal as Nancy Pelosi. She cares nothing about our borders. She cares nothing about all she cares about is maximizing the margins for their corporate donors on the one hand, and basically ruling the world through military might on the other. So these are the Lindsey Grahams and the like. So that's your neocon. Neocons used to be very pro-life. They used to be very pro-traditional social conservatism. But like I explained, globalism and social conservatism are it's a square circle. They're mutually exclusive. Globalism, by its nature, opens up the borders, the boundaries of the United States to include the whole world, in effect. And open borders always means open values. Open borders always means open values. If you want closed values, very tightly protected values, then you're always going to have very closed and tightly protected borders. Just think of entering into like a Haredi Jewish community or an Amish community or anything that has very tight borders are there to protect their very well defined values. But you open up those borders, say anybody can come in, your values it'll go down the toilet, as it were. So you've got MAGA on one side, you've got the neocons on the other, and then in between you have sort of the Ted Cruz's, the Rand Pauls, and these are your ideological conservatives. They see themselves as sort of the hangover, the Reaganite era. They tend to be a bit more libertarian in their view of government. They want very small government. They want very low taxes, but they have no problem with sealing up that border. Definitely, they want to protect social conservatism. These are Mike Lee's, but they're not MAGA. They're not running around talking about nationalism and populism and traditionalism. They're not MAGA, but they're certainly not neocons either. They can work with either one to try to limit government spending and the like. In terms of where you could get more information on that, I don't know what would be a good. Let me see. I mean, one site that I like to go to that gives me interesting insight into that is American Greatness. They're very good. They often have very good articles spelling out the differences of the different wings of the Republican Party. American Thinker, that's another one. I've got a nice little database here that's got some of the ones that I look at. Those are two that are very good. National Review used to be pretty good, but they're going to be almost completely neocon and sort of that libertarian conservative. They're very disdainful towards Trump and the MAGA movement, nationalist populism. But American Greatness and American Thinker would be very good for you to check out.
Very good. Well, anything you want to mention before we close out for the day, Dr. Steve?
No, I mean, I think you may have all seen a new poll that just came out that showed that were the election held today, Trump would win over 290 electoral votes, almost 300 to Biden's. I forget what it was, like 130, 140 or so. And make no mistake, the media is freaking out over that because it was a 2-week poll survey done in all across the country. I think there were 15,000 respondents, and then they were able to even break down the battleground states. They were able to break down the respondent answers at the county by county level, and we are finding that Trump is running away with it in Arizona, in Georgia, in Wisconsin, in Pennsylvania. I mean, he is absolutely in Nevada. He's absolutely crazy. I think this poll gave Nevada to Biden just barely by 1 or 2 points. But if it's the same kind of plus Republican, +1, +2 Republican voting turnout on election day, he'll run away with it in Nevada. So they're getting very, very nervous. I'll share this with you as well, Hannah. You'll get a kick out of this. So I got picked up when we got back from Waco. I got picked up at the Philly airport by a driver who brought me back to my house, limo driver, and he was a young black fellow, great guy. Terrific guy. His name's June. I can still remember his name. We had a lovely conversation. We had a terrific conversation because I was told him I was in Texas, and he's, oh, I'm definitely I want to go down south. It's too cold up here. I love Texas, Florida, and Arizona. I was noticing he was talking about all these red states, and then halfway through the conversation, just basically talking about living in the North versus South and all that, he said, can I just to kind of change subjects? Do you get into politics?
Oh
So
no.
this is hilarious. So I didn't know where he wanted to go, and so I said, yeah, I dabble a bit. Yeah, I do.
Dabble a bit.
And he's like, Democrats did pretty well, it seems, in that off-year election last week. He said, but Trump is absolutely crushing it. It looks like he can win. And so I said, well, it's interesting you say that. I actually got to meet Trump a couple of weeks ago, and I told him about the Mar-a-Lago visit. And he was fascinated by it. And all he wanted to know is, what's he like? What's he like? And I said, he's the real deal. He's amazing and so forth. This guy, I kid you not, this guy was like, he is the greatest. I love Trump. Now, we're seeing it in all the polls. Black men may possibly vote majority Trump for the first time like ever. They have not voted majority Republican since blacks en masse switched over from Republican Party to Democratic Party, primarily, if I recall, in the 1960s. He was all over it. And I said, there I was seeing what these polls are showing. Trump is consistently polling 22% overall among the black vote, but it's looked like he might even creep up to 50% among black men. Remember, it's black women who are the stalwart supporter of the Democratic Party. So black men appear to be doing a breakout there. And he is consistently polling in all of these polls in the high 40s among Latinos, 10 to 15 point more than he got in 2020. This is a game changer. Remember, the Trump voter is not a Republican voter. They are unique to Trump. This is a game changer. Something amazing is happening here. And everyone is admitting that the New York Times, Washington Post, at MSNBC, they're admitting that the election were held today, Trump would crush Biden in a landslide. They can't do the antics they were able to do in 2020. Certainly not in Wisconsin, certainly not in Georgia, and doesn't look like in Arizona either. And if Biden loses Georgia, Arizona, and Wisconsin, it's over. It's over. So that's why now you know why they have indictments, right? So what are the indictments doing? Right? Because we talked about delegitimation right at the very beginning. What are the indictments doing? Only driving his polls higher because nobody trusts the legal system anymore. So there's something amazing really happening here. Again, we're going to be very sober in assessing it, but it's looking incredible right now. I hope you enjoyed that clip of my Monday night Insiders Club live stream. Join us live next week by clicking on the link in the description below and joining the coalition of patriots worldwide building a parallel economy to return to our roots of faith, family, and freedom. Click below right now.